He's okay with like, I'm cool on my laptop, I'm cool on my games. I'm like, there's so much out there. Like, go
Happy Sunday.
out there to like want it, you know?
It'll come.
Yeah. I'm rambling. But yes.
Happy Sunday.
I don't know who's Sally after this. But then I'm like, JK, I signed myself up.
You sure did.
Right. I need a cup. Do you have a cup for this? Like a wine. Oh, wine? Yeah. Why do you think?
Hi, Alan with a Y. How are you? Alan says hello from New Jersey. We have a lot of people in New Jersey. Where's Janet? Where is Janet Hernandez? She's from Jersey too. We got a really good topic to talk about. I'm super excited about this. Hi, Sally. I'm good. I'm feeling so much better. Thank you for asking. How are you feeling?
He's got to learn how to do something else. I know it's hard.
Vincenza. Hi, Enza from Rhode Island. I am good. How are you? Hi, Pedro. Hi, Michael. Hector Rivera from North Branford, Connecticut. Sergio from Cali.
He likes all that marble.
Sergio's from Cali.
Get into that, computer. Yeah, and drawing and yeah.
Hi, Cosette.
That's the thing I really like in it.
Oh my goodness, I missed you guys so much. It's been 2 weeks. It's been so long. No, YouTube Live. I miss my YouTube fam.
Shoot the Jazz fans.
My family. They're my fam. Yes, Cosette, I know. Oh my goodness. Last week I was so sick. Oh, I was so sick. We went to Puerto Rico for the weekend, and when I got back, Eli was sick over the weekend, and I caught whatever he had. Oh my gosh, I was literally, was it Tuesday? I don't know I think it was Tuesday. I was like comatose in my bed, sleeping all day. All of this was so swollen. I couldn't even swallow. It hurt so bad to swallow, and my ears. So I went to the doctor's on Wednesday, and he said that everything was just super red and swollen, and so they gave me steroids and antibiotics. And it's not until like yesterday, today, that I'm starting to feel a lot better. Thank you so much. Thank you. How are you guys doing? How has your weeks been? Yes, Cosette, it's something. I don't know. It's crazy. But guys, I have something to talk to you guys about, and I'm so excited to talk to you about this. This is a really good opportunity. I'm just letting a little bit more people come in. How was everybody's Easter? If you celebrate Easter, how was that? Let me know in the comments. Like I said, we went to Puerto Rico for just the weekend. We had kind of like a work business trip, like a personal business trip with some friends. So I'm so excited. This week was really hard for me. It wasn't until yesterday that I recorded for tomorrow's video. So I went to Ocala and I recorded because I could not, guys. I couldn't even get out the bed. I couldn't even speak. So I'm excited about tomorrow's video. What did you guys think about last week's video? The one that on an acre of land with it was $339,000. Would you believe me if I told you guys that they are actually starting to build that same house with luxury vinyl planking? what I saw it yesterday and I was like, oh my gosh, it looks so much better. So they have actually a few lots. So that same house, the 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 2 car garage, 1936 square feet. Remember, I know that you guys remember it had carpet everywhere, right? Well, they have one on 0.64 of an acre with luxury vinyl planking, no carpet whatsoever, and that one is priced at 319,900. And then they have a few of them at half of an acre for 319,900 too. So I have a client who came from the Jacksonville area, and they really wanted to they really love that house. So when I saw that they were being built with luxury vinyl planking, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to tell you guys, it makes such a big difference. It's so we're actually gonna go under contract with one of those houses we saw yesterday for one of my clients. I'm super excited for them. Sally said we ended up with flu B that I needed the steroids as well. My ears were clogged and throat. Yes, I'm telling you, it was serious. Kosa, yes, luxury vinyl planking all throughout the home. Not even the bedrooms don't even have the carpet. It's a really, really good. I love, like I said, I love the floor plan. And I love the space that the houses have. I mean, for 320 on 0.64 of an acre, that's great. Sergio said home prices looking good everywhere. Yeah, we're still in a good market. Some really good deals out here. So let's get into what is coming up. So Hometown Heroes is back officially July 1st. If you guys don't know what Hometown Heroes is, it's basically a down payment assistance, right? So, but what's very different about Hometown Heroes is actually quite a few. So, with Hometown Heroes, they give you up to 5% of the loan amount, okay, but not to exceed $35,000, okay. So let's say you only need, depending on if they give you the full 35,000, right? You use it for your down payment, and then you use some for your closing costs. We negotiate with the builder, the seller, for the additional closing cost, okay. I literally have one of my clients that used it last year, and they had to come to the table with $4 because they used Hometown Heroes, and we got the sellers to cover the rest of their closing costs. They only had to come to the table with $4 to buy a house. So let's get into Hometown Heroes just a little bit more. So it is for first-time home buyers, or you couldn't have owned a house within the last 3 years, okay? You cannot be on a fixed income, meaning disability, retirement, unless you are a veteran. If you're a veteran, that's an exemption, okay? Exception. But like if you're on retirement, if you are on like disability, it won't work because you have to work at least 35 hours per week, okay? Now, you can have a co-borrower, like if you need somebody to co-sign with you, they do allow that. What else? You have to have at least a 640 credit score, okay? So there are income restrictions, right? So it's going to depend on the county, it's going to depend on where you're going to buy, right? So the way it works is that it is not forgiven, right? So you have to pay it back. However, you don't pay it back until either you're done with the 30-year loan, you refinance, you end up renting it out, or you sell it. That's when you pay it back. And it does not accrue. How I say accrue. That word is like, oh, sorry, it doesn't accrue any interest. So it's a really good program, okay? Now, let's say if you work from home, that's okay. Your job has to have a location here in Florida, okay? So like, let's say you work from home in New York, and you could work from anywhere, but the job is based in New York and they don't have a location here in Florida, then it's not going to work. So this is really good for families who just kind of need like that down payment assistance. They don't have that much cash on hand, right? So I really recommend the Hometown Heroes program. And what's good about it too is that, again, there's no interest on it. Now, what I would say though is that you should already have a pre-approval, because once July 1st comes, Hometown Heroes is only going to have a certain amount of funds, right? And with those funds, I'm telling you, they go so fast, so fast. So you already gonna want to have a pre-approval, and you kind of have gonna want an idea of where you want to live, what house you want to buy, okay? Because um you can't lock in the funds until you have the pre-approval and you're under contract. So I think it's a really good program for those who do not have a lot of cash on hand. Have you guys heard about the Hometown Heroes before?
Yeah.
Let me know in the comments. You guys are a little quiet. Come on. What do you guys think about the Hometown Heroes? I thought that was going to take a lot longer than it did. It's just Florida. It's Florida Hometown Heroes. So it's a really good program. It's a good program. The only thing I would say too is that Hometown Heroes has its own interest rate associated with it, right? So even if you could use, like, let's say a VA loan, a FHA loan, a conventional USDA, but the interest rate might be a little bit higher, right? So if you have the money and you kind of compare the two, and it's like, if I use Hometown Heroes, this is what my interest rate is going to be. If I don't, this is what it's going to be. And if it's a big difference, then it may not make sense, right? So I always just say that you want to speak to a lender to see what's going to be the best option for you guys. But yeah, I think it's such a great program. Like I said, we've had a lot of clients use it within the past couple of years, and I I talk about Hometown Heroes all of the time once I know that the funds are back. So I really do like it. Dang, guys, I thought that was gonna be a lot longer, but it's a pretty fast not self-explanatory, but it's a pretty fast topic. It's it's beneficial to those who need the cash. So it's super cool. But let's talk about the other videos I've posted. So we've posted the one that was on an acre for $339, which had carpet everywhere. But just like I said before, they're actually building that same house with luxury vinyl planking all throughout on at least a half of an acre. I seen one yesterday at 0.64. The house before that, what house did we do before that? I think it was the Copperleaf. Yeah, I believe it was the Copperleaf in Ocala, the Highland Homes. So I'm excited about tomorrow's video, though. It's one of my favorite floor plans in Ocala in Marion Oaks. Every time I see it come on the market, I'm like, I have to record it because I absolutely love it. So this home, it's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 3-car garage, 2,478 square feet on 0.33 of an acre, priced at $399,900. It is absolutely beautiful. When you walk in, you have a wide, long foyer, so you're not walking directly into the family room or the kitchen. Okay, when you walk in to the right, you're gonna have kind of like a suite type of thing, right? You can maybe add like some kind of divider door, farmhouse, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that there's an option, right, that you can do after you close. But in there, you're gonna have a full bathroom, right? And the tile goes all the way up to the top. You have these hexagon you have these hexagon like tile flooring, and then you have a bedroom, so that faces the front of the house. Then you have this really large family room. Oh my gosh, it's a really nice space. You have triple sliding doors leading into your covered lanai. Then the kitchen. The kitchen is really nice because you have a lot of cabinets, you have a lot of drawers, you have a lot of countertops. The island is really big. Then you have a separate dining space, okay? And then off of the kitchen, you're gonna have kind of like a mud room type of thing. So they already have kind of like a cabinet there with a countertop. You have the 3-car garage, the laundry room, which does include the washer and dryer, and then you have a walk-in pantry, and it's very spacious. So off of the dining room, you're gonna have the 2 bedrooms and then the bathroom that they share. So it's a Jack and Jill bathroom, okay? And they both have walk-in closets. Now, off of the family room, you're going to have your master bedroom. The master bedroom is so big. It's so big, and it has tray ceilings, faces the back of the house, and the master bathroom is really nice too. It's double sinks, step down shower with the tile going all the way up to the top. You have windows in there, walk-in closet. So I really, really do like this house. I always record at it when I see it on the market. Kaylee said our house would be around there. Pedro said our house would be around there. Yes, Pedro. Kaylee said, how do you think Hometown Heroes compares to the SHIP program? I'm not really well versed in the SHIP program, to be very honest with you, unless I just don't know what it's called. Give me 1 second. Oh, just basically affordable housing, state housing initiatives partnership, which provides funding for affordable housing. Let me see. Local governments can use SHIP funds for various housing activities. So one thing I would say is that when it comes to down payment assistance, right? Each county is going to have their own down payment assistance, and then the state is going to have their own down payment assistance. Okay, so for Hometown Heroes, it's not county specific in the sense of it's only available in certain counties. It's state specific, right? But like Polk County has its own down payment assistance programs. Marion County has their own, and etc. Right? What you always have to think about with down payment assistance programs is that a lot of the times they'll have a bit of a higher interest rate, and it just depends on multiple different factors, right? So sometimes that's why I'm saying a lot. I know a lot of people who are like, well, I'll just try to use down payment assistance program, but sometimes it just maybe doesn't make sense. Also, with the regular down payment assistance program, if they look at your bank account, right? If you have funds in your bank account to be able to afford to put down a down payment, then you will most likely not get down payment assistance. But with Hometown Heroes, that even if you have the money, you can still use that program. So I know that that's a big difference. Sergio said, sucks, I'm 4 years away, but we can move to Florida before we can move to Florida. Why? Is it because of work? Kaylee said, can you get help with more than one down payment assistance program, or you can only use one? You can only use one of the down payment assistance program. You can try to see if there's like different grants that you can use, but as far as the actual down payment assistance program, you cannot use multiple, because essentially the down payment assistance should cover your down payment, but then you have the closing costs, right? So that's where your agent comes into play to get your closing costs covered. Kim said, the floor plan you're posting tomorrow, does that builder only build in Ocala? So that builder builds in Marion Oaks and Citrus Springs. And I've also seen, I want to say I've seen Palm Bay. I'm not 100%. But yeah, mostly the Ocala area. Sergio said retiring. Ah, okay. No, I definitely understand. Where are you retiring from?
wanted to make sure I have no kind of cancer before they go in. So if everything's clear tomorrow, then they'll make an appointment, maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
I know, when it comes to
Yeah.
like a lot of these builders are offering, closing costs and things like that. So it just depends. But we there's just hold on. I'm sorry. Oh, Sergio said he's in corrections. I've actually have quite a few clients in the corrections field. I actually just connected with one a few weeks ago, and he was a police officer. He was in corrections, but then he was in now he's an RN in a prison. I'm that type of person. I'm like, tell me all the stories. I want to hear everything. Rhonda said, I'm joining in late. It's only the first time I'm in Davenport, sold home in Maryland. Ooh, I'm in Davenport as well. I love Davenport. There's so much happening in Davenport. It makes me so excited. We're getting a Walmart. We're getting a Sam's Club. We're getting a Starbucks, a Chipotle. What else? There's just so much. We're getting Home Depot because the closest like store like that is Lowe's, which is like 10 minutes. It's not too bad, but there's just so much happening. There's more schools being built. I love to see the growth that's happening. Oh, we're getting another Publix in Davenport. So I'm super excited. Kim said I have my trip planned for June. I'll message you soon when I know my schedule. Yes, let me know. I know that we're just still deciding on where you want to be, but absolutely. Hi, Graciano. Yeah, guys. I mean, Haines City is growing too. I've been saying it for a really, really long time that Haines City is going to be the next Davenport. I just saw where they did kind of like a news coverage that Super Target is coming to Haines City, and more shopping and hotels and things like that. So Kaylee said, can you talk a little bit more about short sales? Have you had clients finance a home that's a short sale? I know it's way more difficult, but is it impossible? It's not impossible. It's not impossible. You can definitely, it does take longer, but there's a lot of, there tends to be a lot of short sales. But no, it's not impossible. Excuse me. So yeah, it's not impossible. But I know that a lot of people look at like foreclosures and short sales and things like that for like a good deal. It just is I feel like it depends on the state of the house too, right? Because you could be getting into an absolute nightmare. So it honestly depends. I think we're increasing our videos to twice a week starting this week. So tomorrow, like I said, is going to be that home in Ocala on Monday, and then Tuesday we did a house in Winter Garden, Ashton Woods. It's an absolute beautiful house. Ashton Woods built some really, really beautiful houses. So that's Tuesday's video as well in Winter Garden. They have some really nice. It's a beautiful community. No CBD. So, one builder that I think you guys, if you guys are ready to buy a house, one builder that I think you guys should look into is Highland Homes. And the reason why I think you should look into Highland Homes is because they pay all of the closing costs plus the prepaids, right? So a lot of the times when you hear someone saying, okay, well, like a big builder, they're like, okay, well, we're paying $20,000 towards closing costs, right? That does not include the prepaids. Prepaids are like prepaid insurance, prepaid taxes, prepaid hazardous insurance, right? So it could be a couple of $1,000s depending on what the price of the home is, okay? So with Highland Homes, they actually pay all of that. They pay the closing costs and the prepaids, and if it's a move-in ready home, they'll have some special interest rate incentives as well. So I think like for the most like least out of your pocket would be Highland Homes. So I have also they have a lot of incentives in the sense of if they have a community with a CDD, right, they will actually buy down the CDD. So for example, I have clients who are going to be buying in Davenport. A Highland Home community is called Geneva Landings. So with Geneva Landings, and I know this to be true for Winter Haven Villamar as well. So the builder actually pays down the bond. So instead of the monthly like CDD payment, if it was, let's just say, $300, it's so much lower because they're paying the bond down. So for the Davenport one, I want to say the CDD is $105 per month, which is really, really, really good. And then the HOA is $150 per year. So I think that's really good. In that community, you have a resort style pool and a playground, right? So don't be don't be like scared about a CDD, because Highland Homes in some communities, they will pay down some of they will pay down the CDDs. So that's always something to take into consideration too. Do you guys know what a CDD is? I know the ones who've been here for a while, I know that you guys know what a CDD is. But does anybody know what a C that doesn't know what a CDD is? Susie said, "Hi, Alexis. Any differences in interest rate and down payment on a vacation home versus buying a primary home?" That's such a good question. Yes, there is. So with a primary residence, if you're using a conventional loan, you can put as little as 3% down if you qualify for it. If it's an FHA loan, the minimum down payment is 3.5%. Okay. Now, if you go with a bigger builder for a primary residence, you're gonna get, most likely, of course it depends on their incentives, but you're going to get some really good interest rates. Like for example, Lancy Homes, they have for VA loans as low as a 3.99 interest rate. Okay, but that's besides the point. So when it comes to a second home, the minimum down payment is a 10%, and it has to be a conventional loan. Okay, so you have to qualify for a conventional loan. Minimum is 10%, and sometimes the bank asks for more. Okay. And yes, your interest rates for, honestly, a second home and investment is kind of like the same, right? So it is definitely going to be higher than what the primary residence interest rate would be. And the reason for that is because a few years ago, the banks were seeing that people were buying second homes and using them as investment properties, which you're not allowed to. So that's why the interest rates are higher. Cosette said, no HOA, no CDD is our thing, 100%. I felt that. My next house, I want land. So yeah, I want land and no HOA either. Susie said, I don't want an HOA and CDD on when I purchase a home, and you can buy a home with no job lined up. So no, you can't buy a home if you could buy a home in cash and not have a job, right? But if you're gonna finance, you need to have a job. That's very, very, very important. Oh, I don't think we even talked about that. What did you guys think about that house with the it reminded me of like a New York kitchen. What did you guys think about the house on the corner? Did you guys like it? I thought it was a different floor plan. The hermit in me wants land and a wall and maybe a boat. A boat or a moat? Because I don't know what a moat is. Maybe a boat. So yeah, Highland Home builds their home block construction. So I do like their homes and their floor plans. A moat. What's a moat, Kim? Okay, I got my. What's a moat?
And I still do events here. And I make certain that that's my side.
A big ditch with water.
The big one can be anything, but I want something else.
Oh, really, Kim? Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Guys, this is something like what a moat is, a deep, wide ditch surrounding a castle, fort, or town, typically filled with water and intended as a defense against attack. I love that, Kim. That's so funny. Hi, Theo. That's so funny. Oh, man. So let's just talk about Florida's market, right? I could only talk about Central Florida because a lot of people talk about Florida as a whole, and we have different markets here in Florida, okay? So here in the Central Florida area, I mean, I feel like we're still a strong market. We're still in a buyer's market, right? So there's a lot of opportunities for buyers. When it comes to sellers, it's very, 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 very important to be able to know that you have to list your house at a strategic price and not overprice it, because once you overprice it, that's just where the house sits, and then people are like, okay, well, what's wrong with that house, and I want as much as I can get, okay? So we're still in a pretty solid market. I know there's some markets and I'm going towards down south, there's not as in a healthier market like we are. But there are still some like multiple offer situations in certain cases with certain homes, right? Because I do think that it depends on the price, it depends on the location, it depends on the condition of the house, right? So that's always something to consider. And like I said, the builders are really offering some really good incentives, especially for move-in ready homes. I always say that you're gonna get the best deal on a move-in ready home, right? So we have one of my clients is gonna go under contract with a home in Mount Dora, in Mount Dora in a Pulte community, right? And so we got them $30,000 towards closing costs, which we can bring down their interest rate to about I want to say it was like a 5.25. And we got a whole house blinds because they have a big house, over 3,000 square feet. I think even bigger than that. And so yeah, we got them a really good deal, especially for a move-in ready home. um Susie said, well, I guess we'll have to buy a house as a vacation home since my husband doesn't have a job yet and no one can tell me how much a stucco profession pays that my husband's profession. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure you can go on like Indeed and see kind of like what the average stucco profession pays in Central Florida. Edwin said, who is, in your opinion, the best brand new home builder? I mean, I have quite a few that I really do like, right? Like, I do like Pulte Homes. I know that they, in certain situations, they have a bad rep in certain like cities or states, right? But they built some really good homes here. I remember we closed one of them. Well, we've closed quite a few of them because we just closed one in March, and the one prior to that. And honestly, the inspection reports, when my clients had their house inspected, not much came on the inspection report, and anything that was on the inspection report was handled, right? So I really do like Pulte. I really do like Richmond American Homes as well. I like their quality of build. I like their floor plans. I like what they offer. Especially Richmond American offers like the 9-foot floor ceilings, the 8-foot doorways, the vented out microwave, right? Covered lanais. So I really do like Richmond American. I really do like Highland Homes. The reason why I like Highland Homes, I do like their floor plans. I really like their large island. A lot of their houses have the really large walk-in pantry, and they have covered lanais as well, and their master bedrooms are very spacious. I like their incentives because they always pay all closing costs and prepaid. So you save a lot of money in your pocket by going with them as a builder. Who else do I really like? I know I'm gonna be honest. I know DR Horton gets a bad rep. They build just so many homes, right? And when you think about it, when okay, when you're buying a house, right, and when you're building a house, there's over 100 hands in a house, right? And you have different people, different tradesmen, and things like that, right? So yes, there's stuff that gets missed all the time, and that's why I always say it's very important for you to get a third party inspection, right? It's so important. And so for me, my first home is where I still live in. We've been in there for 5 years. I live in a DR Horton home, and I don't have major issues, right? Yeah, there was carpet everywhere, it was laminate countertops and all that, but little by little, I went ahead and I fixed it how I wanted to fix it. So I like DR Horton's incentives and floor plans. What else? Who else do I like? K Hovnanian built some really nice homes and floor plans as well. I want to say those are like my top. I would say Lancy Homes. They built some really nice homes as well. Cosette, you said it. I didn't. I didn't say it. I'm trying to think if I have another favorite. There's just so many builders, but I think I named the top. Let me see. And the like more luxury builders like David Weekley, Ashton Woods, Toll Brothers. They built some really nice houses too. Manny said, "Can I get a house over there, an acre around 280, 300?" Absolutely. It depends on the size of the house too, and you may be in an area that is not as developed, right? So that, but you can definitely find something. But again, it's gonna depend on the size of the house too. Cause you so funny. Yeah. Mm-mm. So what do I have coming up? I have so much stuff coming up. We're so blessed. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for, I always say this, and every time that we do this is that I really appreciate you guys, right? I wouldn't be here without you guys and making a legacy for my family. So we have a lot going on. So we just closed last week with one of our clients. I couldn't be there because I was so sick. We have this week, we have 3 closings. We have one with Richmond American, one with Kalesa Township, and then one that I'm selling my client's home because they're buying at Kalesa Township. But we've had so many people reach out to us and want to work with us, and I'm always super grateful. So we have a lot of good things coming up. One of my clients went under contract in St. Cloud for Pulte Homes. So that's what I always say. Pulte Homes built some nice homes. So they're relocating from New York, and we should be closing in June. And then I have clients moving from Washington State to Davenport. That should happen in June as well. I have clients who actually so guys, if you know anyone who's looking, we're gonna be listing a house in Marion Oaks. He only owned it for 2 years, I want to say, a year or two. I have to double check. I think it's 2 years. I think it's coming up on 2 years. But it's a 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 2 car garage, just under 1,500 square feet. Now, but listen to me, there's no carpet. It's going to come with the washer and dryer and all of the appliances. It comes with a covered lanai. It's fully fenced. It has a water softener already installed, and it has Tesla charger in the garage, and it has it's gonna have like they're gonna leave the play set there. So I really like that house. We're gonna list it for around $285,000. So if someone is like, okay, I'm okay with a newer resale, but I want it to already be fenced in, it has security cameras, it has the water filtration system and all of that stuff, then that's gonna be a good one. Because there's nothing wrong with the house. They just want it to be in Kalesa Township, which they're already under contract and they're gonna close in June.
April 27th.
Where else? What else do we have? We have just so much coming up. I'm super excited, guys. I'm so excited. Can I have water? I know that there's so much more coming. We had showings yesterday in Ocala, and we found some really good properties. There was one that was a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage, and I want to say this square footage was around 1,700 square feet, and it has 0.61 of an acre, and that one was priced at 314,000. So that one, so we just saw a lot. I wanted to tour one of the houses. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, just under 1,600 square feet, and it's on half of an acre for 314. So that is, I was also going to show you guys another house, but I don't know because it's not pretty. It's priced at 255. It's on half an acre. It's brand new. It's like 1,337 square feet. It's 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It has carpet everywhere. So I don't know if you guys would be interested in that. Manny said, my wife and I like those houses, but our concern is jobs since it's less population. So what I would say is that, right, like you may have to travel 45 minutes to Gainesville, right? But there's some bigger pockets in Ocala. It just depends on what your profession is, right? Also, what we need to, where's your towel? Oh my gosh. Babe, can you mop it? Because Nina just mopped it. We're at Katrina's dad's house, and they have a really nice pool. They have a beautiful house. And of course, Malachi has to pee every 10 seconds and wets the entire floor. Yeah. Oh, see, this is Katrina, guys. I always talk about Katrina in my videos. This is Katrina. So when you call, you get her.
You get me. And I'm like, it's not Alexis, it's Katrina.
Yes. That is Katrina, guys. She's a real person, I promise. She's not AI. She's from New York, just like us.
Sometimes they're so confused.
Isn't she so beautiful? Cosette said, Katrina.
Okay, I'll try it.
Guys,
How much more you got, girl?
10 minutes. Guys, this water bottle makes me laugh so much. I be walking around and people always double look. They like, because it looks like I'm walking around with like a Heineken or a 40 or something like that, right? Right? Guys, it makes me laugh so much. But we are trying to stay away from like plastics and plastic waters and all of that stuff. So we've been doing glass bottles, and I can only find these in Whole Foods. Guys, did I tell you? You know that I'm on a health journey, and I weigh 182 right now from 198. From we got back from Cabo in I think March 16th, 17th. So from there, I was 198, and I'm 182. Your girl has been very locked in. And what didn't help is that I really didn't eat this past week because I was sick. But yes, it looks like a Heineken, right, Cosette? I went to Eli had a birthday party to go to, and he really wanted to go to, so I went, and they was like,
Cut into the ball, Mom.
How?
I love it.
Measured it, me and JR.
I love it.
Oh, so what?
Cosette said, "Oh yeah, no carpets. We have 2 puppies." I know.
We thought about that, but it'd be a boy's bathroom.
Cosette, you think you guys would like that one, the 3-bedroom, 2-bath, the 1936, where it has character? It's not as opened. Because they have that one on like 0.64 with luxury vinyl painting, no carpet.
Those cookies are
Those cookies are good? Nah.
chocolate one.
Your girl is locked in.
Slippery.
So yes, that was Katrina. I absolutely love her.
They'll turn around and swoop.
She's a great addition to the Evolve Estates group.
Y'all love? Oh, yeah.
So yeah, we have some really good things coming up. Oh man, we're growing, and the market is still good. The market is still active. Guys, new construction is the way to go, especially if you're concerned about interest rates. New construction is the way to go. They have the maximum incentives. They could afford to give you those incentives, right? So yeah. Hi, Susie. So affordable in Claremont, I mean, it would have to be a resale home, right? And it just honestly depends, because a lot of the new homes in Claremont, because I've seen multiple of your comments, they're in the mid 4s, 5s, and up. Oh yeah, you're right, Cosette. But 3-2 won't work. I just thought, I was like, oh my gosh, there's just so many, It was a cute house. All right, guys. So we're gonna call it early because we are over at Katrina's dad's house. So I want to remind you guys, make sure you're just super active. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe to our channel. It goes a long way. It pushes it out to other people, right? And definitely share our content. If you hear somebody's looking to move to Florida, or are looking for a real estate agent, definitely send them my contact info. I would really, really appreciate that. We're looking to help as many families this year as we possibly can. But I hope you guys have an amazing, amazing week. Don't forget about Hometown Heroes. It comes out July 1st. I will still be talking about it in all of my videos, so you probably won't forget, okay? I absolutely love everybody. I hope you guys have a great week. Let me know if you need anything. We'll have videos Monday and Tuesday, and we will be on next Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Bye. Katrina says bye. Bye. Mwah. I love you so much, Cosette, too. I really do.
Maybe on there.